Namaste students, welcome to Learning Management System program BSc, BCA, BSc, subject English, semester 4, session number 1, topic The Night of the Scorpion, introducing the poet, about the poet, structure of the poem and the theme of the poem, created by Professor Ravi Kumar and Dr. Suresh S.B. Poetry, The Night of the Scorpion. Introduction of the poet. Poet's name Nissim Ezekiel. Born in the year 1924, died 2004. Nissim Ezekiel is known as the father of Indian English poetry. He's also famous for writing his poetry in English. He had a long career spanning more than 40 years, during which he drastically influenced the literary of scene of Indian literature. After completing BA in English literature in 1947, he moved to London to study philosophy under the guidance of C.M. Joad. His guide's name is C.M. Joad. He published his first collection of poetry, A Time to Change, in the year 1952, when he was only 28 years old. Many scholars found this as a turning point in post-colonial Indian literature towards modernism. He was assistant editor for Illustrated Weekly of India in 1952. It's another feather on his career. He was also associated as a broadcaster with All India Radio. Nissim served as head of the department in Mitibai College, Mumbai, professor at Mumbai University, a visited professor at University of Leeds in 1964, and University of Chicago in 1967. In 1970, he presented an art series of 10 programs for Indian television. In 1976, he translated Jawaharlal Nehru's poetry from English to Marathi in collaboration with Rinda Naba. Secretary of the Indian branch of International Writers Organization called PEN. Ezekiel was also a mentor for the next generation of poets, including Dam Morases, Adil Jaswala, the G. Patel. Ezekiel received the Sahitya Academy Cultural Award in the year 1983. He received the Padma Shri, India's highest honor for civilian, in 1988. Ezekiel died in 2004. At the time of his death, he was considered the most famous and influential Indian poet who wrote in English. Nissim Ezekiel's poems primarily examine themes associated with the daily life in India. Though his career, his poems become more and more situated in India until they can be nothing else but Indian. Until then, so one and unknown in Indian flavor, we can see the Indian flavor and fragrance all over his poetry. Ezekiel writes, India simply, Ezekiel writes, India is simply my environment. A man can do something for and in his environment by being fully what he is. By not withdrawing from it, I have not withdrawn from India. No, he's telling that he born and brought up in India, and he know each and every corner of the India and every civilization. I mean, every man and woman, now how they behaves in the society. By that, he lives in India. That he breathes here, and he can he will exhibit the Indianness in his subject. That's what he wanted to tell us. Introduction of the poem The Night of the Scorpion, 1952. The Night of the Scorpion is a poignant poem. In this poem, the poet describes the selfless love of a mother who is stung by a scorpion. To portray the motherly affections, he used imagery relating to the sense of sight, smell, touch, and hearing. Even though the scorpion parted poison in her toe, yet she is thankful to the god that the scorpion had chosen her and spared her children. It shows that motherly love towards her children. Here, the poet remains as a helpless spectator and expresses his feeling. He also comments on the Indian culture where superstitions still play a significant role. This poem makes a significant effect on the reader with an interaction of pictures identifying with the great and malicious, light and darkness, everything, the oppositions, confrontation between the dark and light, and maliciousness and as well as greatness, both together confrontation between good and bad. This is what he wanted to tell us. The excellence of the poem lies in that the mother's remark handles the poem people suddenly on basic compassionate grounds with an unexpected punch. The excellence of the poem lies in that the mother's remark handles the people suddenly on basic compassionate grounds with an unexpected punch. Finally, she gives a punch by telling that at least the scorpion as well as the Almighty spared the God, Almighty God spared her children instead that it has chosen her mother as mother. The structure of the poem. The Night of the Scorpion is a pre-verse poem with 8 stanzas and a total of 47 lines. There is no set rhyme scheme. There is no systematic rhyme scheme one after the other. But it has written as freely as it comes to his mind. The meter is mixed. The meter is he is not followed any meters, cultures, everything. Just meters, feet, these syllables. He is not followed anything. Just he is done as it comes to him. The second stanza that ends the poem attracts attention for its brevity and emphasizes the words of the mother and their effect on the son. Imagery is used to signify all objects and qualify qualities of sense perceptions referred to in a poem. The poet describes the childhood experience through this poem. The poet conveys through some imageries which can be understood by our senses. Some imageries which he conveys to understand by our senses because it is totally relevant Indian. Basically this is an Indian poem, and the people, both the poet as well as the participants of this poem, they are all Indians. They exhibit their Indianness only. It can be defined as the representation of an experience through language. The visual imagery is most often used in poetry. An image may also represent a sound, a smell, a touch, or a feeling, a sensation. No, while you are going through this poem, when in this journey of this poem, with that night of scorpions incident, now you'll feel that it's some kind of realistic aspects. You will come across with some real aspects like cinematographic. cinematic sequences like situations you will come across. Okay, and the theme of the poem, Night of the Scorpion. The poem Night of the Scorpion has a typical Indian background, as I told. It reveals the superstitious beliefs of common Indian villages. If it is okay, when we go through line by line in our next session, we will experience that what it is going to happen. The incident described in the poem is a common experience in Indian villages. Yes, common village. It describes the reactions of village people when the poet's mother was stung by a scorpion. How the village people reacts to when a kind the upper level woman was stung by a scorpion and they visits her aunt. Probably she is a gentle and humble lady who has friendly nature with all others, kindness with all other neighbors and all. They visit her and they shows their compassion towards her. It describes the actions of village people when the poet's mother was stung by a scorpion. The members of an Indian village society are uneducated, ignorant, and superstitious peasants. Okay, next, she spends 24 hours in quite unbearable pain. After recovering, she does not blame the scorpion and rather says, "Thank God the scorpion picked on me and spared my children." It's not spread, it's spared my children. Okay, the poem highlights the motherly love of a poet's mother. Now here it comes to an end, and thank you. We will see the line by line description in the next session, and thank you, students. Thank you for.